It is 11 o'clock Pacific time, and Mountain time is 12. And
Noon.
Arizona, nobody keeps track because you guys are so special. Your time never changes. Anyways, I'm Rigo Murillo, Laurie-Ann,
And I'm Laurie-Ann.
Morabito. That's right. We are here again for Contagious Leadership Podcast. What episode are we in, Don? We are
60.
episode 60. All right, listen, here's the deal. Today, what we're going to be giving you stick to the end, we're going to be giving you access to this training and a free PDF to understand how to build the perfect webinar and perfect presentation. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss this training. Laurie-Ann is once again in the hot seat as the guinea pig. Be back in 30 seconds. All right. I was just talking to Donnie. My favorite part of this whole show is the intro.
Is the opening video.
Yeah, it's the
sets
opening
the tone.
section. It does. All right. I want to know how you guys are doing out there. And here's the deal. Like always, drop a hashtag live. Let us know you are here. And please join our community by texting lunch to hashtag lunch. 316-799-8052. 316-799-8052. Or let us know that you would like us to stay in touch with you and keep you updated on the stuff we're doing. Do it in the chat if you're international. One of the really good ways, too, we just launched the newsletter. Laurie-Ann, what'd you think about that?
I loved it. It's beautiful. It's so much fun to read too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you like it. But you know how it is, like everybody thinks their baby is the cutest.
Well, your baby is the cutest.
Well, my babies are the cutest. But that, it just, everybody thinks that their stuff. I have to be very careful, right? So anyways, I want to give credit where credit's due. That has a lot to do with our team, especially Anita. She's a badass, and she lays that out for everybody. So there's a lot of folks involved, but she's primarily the one. So thank you, Anita, for making that happen. All right, guys. I'm going to open up some stuff over here, and we're going to get right to it. Listen, here's the deal. Stay to the end of this, and you're going to get a outline for understanding how to build the perfect presentation, whether this is a webinar or a stage.
Master class.
That's right, a master class.
Zooms,
That's right.
Podcasts.
That's right. And let me tell you, is that something you would like, right? Would you like to be able to close more projects, more products, more programs? If you want to do that, then stick around. Now, Laurie-Ann, this is what's really special about this is you're not just a great personality with an award-winning smile, right? Why don't you give a little bit of detail, and let's remind our audience again who you are as a professional.
Okay, thank you. I am actually a reformed, painfully shy girl who accidentally became a professional speaker. So I just realized that being in corporate was not going to serve me in the long run. I just felt, like that round, like a lot of people say, that round peg in a square hole. And I went out on my own, and I realized that, oh my God, if you build it, they will not come. So I had to somehow get visible in a way that felt good to me. And so I accidentally fell into speaking. And even though I was horrible that very first time that I spoke, I actually had people come up to me and ask me, hey, how do you work with clients? And I knew that I was onto something, and went from there to becoming an executive leadership coach because I started speaking in the leadership industry. And just a couple of years ago, I stepped off the stage to help people like coaches and consultants actually leverage speaking opportunities to grow their business, to build their authority, to monetize their expertise.
I love that. Now, here's one of the things, Laurie-Ann. We cannot get everything taught to you in the next 60 minutes, okay?
No.
This is an hour program. We are 6 minutes in, 54 minutes left. There's no way we're going to get it all across to you. So understand one of the aspects to what it is that we're doing. And when you are building this presentation, this perfect webinar, as you would say, is our job is to inspire you to understand that right now in this process, it can be done. And that's the same thing that you want to be able to do with your potential prospects as you're preparing. You want them to know that following your process, your system, or believing in you is going to get them to the goal that they want. So within that time frame, whether it's a 90-minute or a 60-minute process, your job is to get their attention right away and make sure that they understand that your process system or you as an individual is the right person to get them to where they want to be. So I want to get right into this, Laurie-Ann, because this is something that...
And I would just add something to that, Rigo. I would also say that your presentation is to build connection. Build connection with the right people that are in your audience. And during your whole presentation is also just to build that desire so that at the end, when you make your call to action, when you make your offer, people are they are raising their hand because they are a hell yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And so listen, if this sounds good to you, right? If you want to be able to, number one, get more attention in your product service offering, right? If you want to be able to create more leads through this, if you want to be able to get more opportunities to pitch and be in front of people, then you're in the right place. All right. And so this is what we're excited about. So what I'm going to bring up, Laurie-Ann and Donnie, work with me here. I'll do my best as I bring it in. So if I make any mistakes, we're going to roll with it. You guys, listen, we've never pretended to be perfect. And what we do live. This is the perfect webinar. This comes from Russell Brunson. It's one of the speakers I've enjoyed very, very much so. He's the founder and creator of ClickFunnels. And this was one of the teachings that they had brought in. And I love this because what he teaches is a culmination of a bunch of other people's teachings. And we're going to get into this a little bit more now. I have a PowerPoint. It's not loading, but guess what? We'll be able to bring that to you later. And so number one, in order to get through this process, no, we're good. We can pull it off. The intro is going to be the most important element of this, and that is getting in and demanding attention. Before you start to get going, Laurie-Ann, I know that you talk about this, but pre-framing is super important, right? Yeah. So as I get on stage or as I get ready to speak with you here, one of the things is I'm gonna start talking with you. I'm gonna start sharing with you a little bit about what's going on, who I am. I'll give stories. All of this is part of the introduction, but it's not just that. We're pre-framing. We're getting things ready. We're talking about what we're going to be going into. We're talking to you about the elements of do you want this? Is this sound good? And there's a little more I'll get into later called trial closes, and these are things that are going to be happening all through the process. And we'll go back and we'll address this so that you understand why these are so important. All right, so hopefully, does that sound good? Laurie-Ann, does that sound good to you?
That sounds great. I think this is going to be a great training for everybody.
Yeah, this will be exciting. So as we get into this, okay, we're going to go in, Donnie, go up, and let's focus in on introduction. So number one, and I'm going to run through all of them before we pull it off. Okay, we're going to have a bold promise. What is the bold promise? So Laurie-Ann, what is the promise I made to the listeners that have being here right now that are willing to come in and listen to this webinar?
Well, the promise that you've already made is that if you hang around till the end, yep, that you have something that you're going to give them. They're going to get a copy of this training, and right, probably since we can't upload the slides, you get a copy of the slides.
That's right. They'll get a copy of the slides. They'll get a copy of this downloadable PDF, and lastly, they're going to get an invite and access to our open and free community where we offer training like this. So I want to give you guys an opportunity to, one, have this for yourself, get access to this training, which is going to be in our community. So you can go back and watch it anytime you want. And you can get into that community where you can run Q&As and get deeper in and get involved and get answers from other people in the community. That, I hope, sounds good to you. We have other training there. And this is a good place for you to start to meet others and find out what other programs we have and other training. So if that sounds good to you, hopefully that'll keep you here to the end. Now, as we go through, that's my hook. That's the number 2. That's the hook to the end. Now we're going to be commanding attention. Why is that important? So let's go back off the presentation. Laurie-Ann, you're demanding attention by what? By helping us understand who you are and qualifying yourself, right? You're not just a co-host here with me. You are a professional in the space of public speaking. So as we get ready to teach people how to be better public speakers, and we're going to use you, we're going to use your program and what you do as the example of this.
Yeah.
Right? You are the perfect person that we want because you're a professional in this. So help us out a little bit. Why do we want you as our teacher? Why do I want to be here with you, Laurie-Ann?
Well, because I'm going to command attention because what I want to do, this is what everybody wants to do in their presentation. You want to get people to put what I call put their phones down and lean in to listen to you. Nothing else is in my way because you've got my attention and I now know that I need to listen to you. So in my case, I'm going to be talking about how speaking is the fastest way to grow your business, how speaking is the fastest way to get positioned as the expert, because we all know that clients hire experts. So now I've got your attention, and then I'm also going to let you know why I am the person to continue to listen to. Why am I the person? Why are you the person that I want to continue listening to? Well, I'm not just somebody who thought speaking was a great idea to build a business. I'm actually somebody who has spent over 20 years being an executive coach, speaking, getting well-paid speaking. And this was how I built my authority. And now I teach other people, coaches and consultants, how to use this platform of speaking so that you get positioned as the expert, so that you get in front of your ideal clients, ideal audiences. And did you know that ideal audiences are already pre-qualified leads? So what I did there was I'm just sparking some curiosity in you, like, wow, I never thought about how I could be using speaking to grow my business, to fill my client roster.
Yep. It's absolutely. I love that. And so now the last step in this process is called future pace. It's almost like a disclaimer. Now, why is that? What I'm going to explain to you. So let me give you an example. I'm Rigo Murillo. I've been in my industry in sales and marketing for nearly 25 years, from operations to operational sales to different levels of marketing to social content. And I've been now on my own nearly 5 years. Why did I do this? I did this because I knew there was a better way, a way to expand how we were reaching people in the market. Now, I qualify myself not only just by my reputation in the industry, but I would tell you, look, this system that I'm showing you here and others that we train on is the exact same process and methods that I have used to build my business from my own personal $68,000 investment to now over $4.2 million of revenue in nearly 5 years. How did we do that? We did that by following these processes. So I'm going to ask you, does that sound good? If you are a coach or a solopreneur or starting your own business or a person that's looking to say, I want to know how I can build what you're doing, right? And you're saying, I can tell you that we can get you started in less than 30 days and 90 days, 6 months, and here's our program. Does that sound good to you? Does that sound good? Do you want to learn how to get there? Do you want to learn how to build a 7-figure business? All of a sudden now, Laurie-Ann, the person's going, okay, I'm interested, right? I'm listening. I'm demanding attention, or I'm commanding attention. Excuse me, not demanding, commanding, right? And then I'm going to tell you, now listen, this is not going to work for everybody right away in the beginning. You're not going to just walk off the stage and go make $1 million, right? But you're going to have the tools you need to do this properly. And with the right coaching and with the right groups, you're going to get there. And that's the key, because what's the goal for us, Laurie-Ann? We want people to be involved in our programs because we can help them through it. right? We're going to help them through it. One of the things I always found interesting, and I'd love your take on this, but most information today is always available, and we're not the first to come up with it. This is one of the reasons why I bring this out here. Like Russell Brunson brought this to me. He's brought this to many, many others, and he's made it very clear that this entire program was built by so many different other mentors and professionals in their spaces. I don't need to pretend this is mine. It is my job to show you what we've used to do what we're doing, and now I want to help you through that process, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you can, and anybody who's watching this live or on the replay, you can go and Google like how to have a perfect presentation. And there's millions and millions of entries, or like whatever you want to call it, like posts that Google's going to share with you. And sure, you can go do it yourself. But why would you do that when you're going to spend an hour with us right here, right now, or decide to like raise your hand and say, hey, I want to work with these experts because this is exactly what I want to do. This is exactly how I want to get in front of my ideal clients, is by having the perfect webinar, the perfect presentation.
Now, Donnie, go ahead and bring the slide back up. So now the next piece here becomes very important. Why is this important? I don't know. Can we zoom in on this? We had the slides, you guys. It's just Restream's not letting us bring it up. That's the one thing, this content area. And we're going to get into this a little bit more. Go ahead and pull it off. Thank you. This is the area where we're going to focus on literally what it is. It's one thing, you guys. Okay? One of the mistakes I have found in my career, and Laurie-Ann, we can get yours, but for me, a lot of times I have multiple different solutions. Of course I do. There's more than one way to help a client. But a lot of times we get in and I'm like, well, we can help you create your content. And then we can help you by coaching your team. And then we can help you by building your personal brands. And then we can help you by doing your company brands. And then, we can help you by introducing you to people in the network and block. And so what's happening is what?
We're confusing people.
We're confusing them. That's right. And our clients are not able to focus on the one thing that matters. Now, if I have 6 different ways to help somebody, fantastic. Then I should have 6 different targets with 6 different presentations.
Yes.
Right? Or allowing that prospect to build up through the process or program in order to get to where they need to be, right? So my full package of what we do with all of my team to be able to support a small business or large business is not going to be the right thing for a new coach or a new consultant entering into the workforce who's looking to just hit that first six figure, right? They can't afford that. But what can they afford? They can afford that entry level that's going to help them make their first $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 package, and then they can grow with me. So let's talk about how your program helps people identify the potential earnings within public speaking. And so the one thing that we're going to address is this, right? That public speaking is the fastest way to
grow your business.
To grow your business. Okay? That's our one thing. So I want you guys pretend that this is what you are right now. You are a small business, you're a coach, you're a consultant, and you're trying to figure out how can I get my business to the next level. So the one thing is that the fastest way to grow your business is getting into a space of public speaking. So now what we're going to do, Laurie-Ann, is we're going to break this down into these 3 secrets. Now, here's where the secrets are coming in from. You see, individuals are going to have their fears. They're already going to be looking at, go ahead and pull the slide up for me, Donnie. They've got these patterns, these belief patterns that says, you know what, it's too hard. Let me just throw these out here. We haven't talked about this ahead of time, just so you guys know. Laurie-Ann and I, right?
Right.
I said you're the guinea pig. You're in the hot seat. You good with that? She said, "Let's do it."
I'm always good for them to be in the hot seat.
She is. She's always. I love that about Laurie-Ann. All right, so, I'm afraid of getting in front of people. That's not who I am. I'm not good at being in front of people like that. I don't even know, where would I start? Where would I even start this process of public speaking? And like, I don't even know what do I have to offer that they would want to listen to? Like, who wants to hear what I'm doing? Right?
I'm not an expert. I don't know
I'm
where
not
to
an
start.
expert.
I don't have time to put a presentation together. So what I have found is that objections fall into 3 categories: time, money, and belief. Belief about your industry, belief about yourself. And you just mentioned one of them where you go like, I'm afraid of public speaking. And I always say, like, I'm a reformed painfully shy girl. I learned how to really how to leverage and this particular skill set because I knew it was going to be good for me. So so what I would suggest to everybody is, like, think about what are some of the objections that your people, your potential clients bring to you? What are they around time, money, and belief? Let's start there.
Okay, so I love that. So we're going to take the first one. I'm going to write this down. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to log in.
Okay, so
yeah, I'm trying to log in from my iPad.
One? We're talking about secret one, right?
Yeah. So the secret one is hitting that one objection. We're gonna take their belief pattern to one aspect, and then now we're going to tear it apart. We're going to rebuild them, and we're going to show them how that's not the case. All right.
Right. So let's. Was that a weight?
No, that was all right. So tell it to me because I'm going to write it down.
Okay.
My stupid PowerPoint won't load.
I don't know where I would speak.
Okay. So the pattern, this belief pattern that we're going to break is, where would I start, right? How do I even get this going? All right. So
then
now,
I give secret number 1.
Okay. Yeah. Give secret number 1. Now, do you have anything you want to share, by the way? Let us know and we can bring it in.
So secret number 1 is, on average, there are 7,500 speaking opportunities every single day. 7,500 speaking opportunities. There's over 225,000 association and professional trade groups here in the US, and they have monthly meetings and are looking for speakers. That's how this 7,500 number comes about. So there's a lot of opportunity out there that you just don't know where to find them.
So now what does this equate to in terms of like a cash flow and a potential, right? What is this these groups and these opportunities, these 7,500, what's the average kind of of opportunity that somebody could make in this program in being able to go out and speak?
Well, I mean, it depends on how many clients are you looking for. I mean, I have this thing called speaker math, where you decide, you just kind of like plan it out and try to figure out, like, well, how much can I make from speaking 1 or twice a month? Maybe even 3 or 4 times. But let's just say you speak to a small group of 50 people. And let's just say 4 people, well, let's just say 10% of the room. Let's just say 10% of the room, so 5 people raise their hand to say, I want to call with you. What's your close rate? If your close rate is like 75% of the people say yes to you and sign up with you, then that means of those 5 people who raised their hand just for a call, 3 of them are going to say yes to you. So what's a customer worth? And then you start like breaking this all down. Was that the direction you wanted me to go?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes sense. So it's simple. There's 7,500 different opportunities on an annual basis. So when I say I don't know
7,500 every day.
Every day.
Every day. So that means there's 7,500 that are opportunities that are happening today. Some of them are paid and some of them are not paid. What I call that is getting paid on the front end of speaking, but what's way more lucrative is getting paid on the back end, is the client work that you're going to do, is the people that you are attracting, the quality people who are going to join your email list that you can nurture, who may not be ready to become clients with you right now, but in a couple of months might be ready to be a client with you. So 7,500 every single day. So that means tomorrow is going to be another 7,500.
I love that. Okay, so then now I'm looking at that saying, all right, now I get it. Now, one of the other aspects that that would be valuable here when I'm saying I don't know how. This is where another piece, Laurie-Ann, where you're saying there are these opportunities out there. There are these organizations and associations, and our program introduces you to how to find all of these opportunities. Would they not?
Yes, how to find them, and then also to determine who is the right person that you should be reaching out to. And when you figure out who that person is that you want to be reaching out to, what do you say to that person? And I have scripts that I share with my clients, with people in my programs, that they get these resources so that you know exactly what to say to open the door to having this conversation about future meetings, about future conferences, so that you become the person that they say yes to.
I love it. Okay, so now we're going to go into secret number 2. So right now, if you're watching this and you're figuring, how do I get into this? 7,500 different opportunities a day, all these different associations. There's plenty of access by working with Laurie-Ann. So if this sounds like, okay, does this sound better? Did you feel better about the fact that there are 7,500 different opportunities, right? Does this sound like you could get one of these at the very least on a daily basis, right? Does it make you look at your belief system that said there was no way and where do I start? Now, have I solved that for you? Have I answered that question? Okay. And so now I'm asking you this because I want to know, like, did I break your belief system that said this is too hard to find? Okay. So now we're going to move to the next one. What's the next issue that we're going to break down? What's the next belief system that we're going to break and then rebuild, Laurie-Ann?
A lot of people will say to me, geez, I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know what to say in my presentation. What would I talk about? And I always tell them, like, here's a secret. Here's, like, one of the things that I do with my clients and also in my program is help you craft a presentation that you are going to feel so confident delivering. That's one of the things. So you don't know what to talk about, but what I do is I guide people through the process of crafting a presentation that gives immense value, that you're speaking to the desires and the objections that the audience is already having. I'm a little bit of a neuroscience geek.
No, I love that. But I mean, and this is funny enough, was exactly what you're doing in this program, Laurie-Ann, is the exact same process of what we're doing here. Donnie, go ahead and pull the PDF up. If you're looking, at this aspect of breaking this down. Okay. These are it. We're breaking down those prior belief systems, because what we're doing is we're saying, look, your opposition in getting forward or moving forward into learning how to get where you need to be, right? We're going to go back to it. What was the one thing? That the fastest way to grow your business is with public speaking. Now, what are forms of public speaking? So maybe we clear that up, right?
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
Everybody's thinking I have to do this and I'm on stage and there's thousands of people out there and what do I have to do? Do I have to think of them naked like we all see in the movies, right?
Right. So I believe that speaking needs to be redefined. It is so much more than stages and Zoom these days. I mean, you can become a guest expert in a high-end mastermind. I do that on the regular. On people's memberships, you can become that guest expert. There are so many different ways of speaking out there today. Podcasts, exactly like what Rigo and I are doing here today. These are different forms of speaking. You just need to know how to tap into them. And these podcasts, like, that's not even part of the 7,500 number, as a matter of fact. What else can we talk about regarding, like, there's so many different forms of speaking. And I just want to, like, talk about, like, this particular slide that we're sharing.
Yeah.
Is exactly the perfect presentation. It's commanding attention. It's why should you listen to me? It's teaching people, along with telling people, like, really tapping into and addressing the objections that they have, because you know that your program, your service, because I know that my program, my service is going to help overcome those objections.
Yep.
So that
No,
people are using-
absolutely. That's it. That's it. And that's exactly it. So now we're going to go into that third objection. What's that third belief system that we're going to break down, Laurie-Ann?
I would say the third one would be, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of public speaking. I've never done it before, which all comes down to the I don't think I'm ready. So maybe I'll do this later. That would be the other one that I would address.
Okay, so then how do we get into that? Right? How do we break that down?
So I would probably tell stories because there's one common thing that all of my clients say, that after working with me, when they gave their very first presentation, they felt like they had 5 years of experience. One of the things that I do so naturally with my clients, I just can't help it. I keep giving them these tips so that it separates them from being the novice speaker. So that my clients, when they speak for the very first time, because they've got this beautifully crafted presentation, and speaking, by the way, is like verbal art. They have this beautifully crafted presentation that they feel very confident in delivering. And that confidence comes across and they look like they've been speaking for years. And it's like meeting planners are like watching them and just thinking like, wow, we are so lucky that we got this person.
I love that. And you know what? Now here's something else that I want to bring up, and I'm curious what your thoughts are, because I think a lot of times people think that you have to be perfect in your speaking style or being perfect in how you articulate, right? One of the things that I feel very strongly is learning these skill sets, I think are imperative to anybody who's doing business. But would you agree with me that you have to have your style?
100%.
Your authenticity.
100%. As a matter of fact, one of the first things that I work with my clients is to, what kind of speaker do you want to be? Like, we make these decisions, don't let the audience decide what kind of a speaker you are. You decide what kind of a speaker. Like, what are three short words or short phrases that are going to describe you as a speaker? That way we use your speaking style as a lens to look through, and as we're crafting the rest of your presentation. So for example, if you want to be funny, then we're going to make sure that there's humor built into your presentation. If you're going to be inspiring, well, we're going to make sure that there's inspiration in there as well. And 100% to that, you need to be you. None of my programs are cookie cutter. It's not like you have to start your presentation just like this. I don't do it because then there would be a bunch of the same type of speakers that are out there. And I want all of my clients and all of my students that go through my program to actually come out of it and just be themselves, because that builds confidence and that's what attracts clients to you.
I like that. And so one of the things that we can do, and Laurie-Ann, one of the ways that you're on the right track, okay, is asking, essentially using this question process. And I have this here, is basically how to blank without blank. All right. So let me explain that. Okay. How to blank. Oh, it's not on the slide. These are just in my own training notes. Sorry. Yeah. Listen, I thought it would work. I didn't, whatever. I'll probably do this again with all my other things, but live things don't work as well. I could not get my whiteboard, my iPad up, and it's just telling me no. So I don't get to pull it up and show you the diagram. That's it. We deal with it. We go.
Speaking is just a lot of improv.
That's it. I got it here. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
all right.
explain this
all right. So let me tell you how to blank without blank. Okay. So my business, how to generate organic leads without spending a dime on advertising. Okay. How to get your sales team to know how to build content marketing strategies, right? Without making it boring. All right. There's a lot of different ways that we can go into that, but that's how you know if you've got the one thing, and that's where it should be. So Laurie-Ann, it's how to build your business right? Fastest, right? Without
the overwhelm, without doing like building things like one person at a time. Like, why not speak to the masses about your expertise? The overwhelm, getting rid of the overwhelm. I keep talking about overwhelm, and just the working so hard. How about working efficiently?
I like that. Okay, so then now we go into the next section. So we've taken each of these areas. I don't know where to start. What would I even say? Like getting past a fear, right? I'm afraid. And so we've restructured those belief systems. And so now what we're going to do is we're moving into the next aspect. So you talked about a lot of your past clients, right? And this is good. And we'll bring this up a little bit later, but testimonials, all these types of things matter. So as I'm talking to the audience right now, like if we can show you, if I showed you stories, if I showed you other people that have gone through the program, if I can show you how it's made other people money, if I can show you how other small entrepreneurs, small business owners, solopreneurs, coaches have decided to make an investment and within a matter of weeks, months, whatever the process is, has been able to expand their business, whether 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x, would that mean something to you, right? Does that matter to you, right? Does it matter? And so now what I'm doing is I'm asking these questions. I'm engaging with you as an audience member, as a potential prospect. And now I'm moving into the next piece, and that is asking you for permission. I need permission to be able to go to the get into this piece that says, if I can show you how to build your business in, how long is the program?
8 weeks.
Okay.
To
so
crafting your presentation.
There it is. If I can show you how to build a money-making presentation to turn your business around, to increase sales, to increase leads in 8 weeks, okay? And I'm assuming you do this because you're building around adult schedules, right? It's not every single day for 8 weeks. And so now what are we doing? We're breaking this down. And you're saying, look, if I could take, how much time do they spend in per week?
Probably about an hour.
Okay. So that's a time too, right? That could be another thing. I don't have the time to learn this.
Do you
right?
have
If
an
I
hour
that's
to
right.
an hour and a half?
There it is. If I can show you how to learn this in 1 hour a week over a course of 8 weeks, would you be interested? Right? So what we're doing is we're asking the question, whatever that question is, but we're being very clear as to what it is that we're asking permission to. So we've gone through, we've reframed these belief systems. We've approached each of the issues. We're focusing on the one thing. The one thing is what, right? How to get your business built fastest through public speaking, right? Fastest way to build your business. How did you say it, Laurie-Ann? I'm sorry.
Speaking's the fastest way to grow your business.
There it is. All right, I'm sorry.
Here's a little hint into my program. Speaking's the fastest way to grow your business is a foundational phrase. So I actually use this foundational phrase throughout my presentation. And that's something that I teach all of my students to and clients to have a foundational phrase that they get known for. So Rico, like you're starting to know me as the woman who says, speaking's the fastest way to grow your business.
Yeah, well, that's why I was like, I think I need you to say it because I know that I wasn't saying it right, and I know you say it the same way all the time.
But you're getting close.
Yeah, I'm getting close. I am getting close. I am getting close. Yeah. No, we get it. We've been doing the same thing. Attention is currency. Attention is currency. Like attention is currency. Like people are like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you're not there yet. I actually saw a really great post. I loved it. He's the founder of one of the, I think it's Entrepreneur Magazine or something. Anyways, it was a great post. I was rolling this morning, and he talked about something he did when he was young, and he'd say he'd walk up to somebody and go, "Hey, ask me if I play sports." And I go, "Okay, do you play sports?" And he would pull out this little Barbie tennis racket. He goes, "A little tennis." Right? Now I'm laughing, and then he gets into, right? You're laughing. See?
Yeah.
A little tennis. And I'm laughing, and he said, he realized later this was him just being silly when he was younger, but he says, and he still had it. He goes, I still do this because I've realized very quickly, like, if you don't think it's funny, if this didn't give you a smile, you're not my people. Right? You're not my people, and then good, we're good. Now I know that we're not going to get along because I was laughing. I was like, hashtag dad joke, right? And then I was like, oh, that's a really good lesson that he was teaching. But you're right. In everything we're doing, we need to be very clear as to what it is that we want to solve for our prospect, okay? And so now that we've gone through that system, let's go ahead and pull the PDF up, Don. And real quick, actually, before we go too far, I want to ask you guys a question. You don't have to bring me up or anything. Oh, you already did. Okay. Like, listen, if you're getting any value out of this, let me know. Do me a favor, drop it in the chat. I want to know if this is bringing you any sort of value. Do you want to know more about this? Can this actually help you get to where you're trying to be? So we want to know this. We want to know, does this program bring you any value? Does what we're doing create any sort of opportunity for you to think and expand and look and find new folks that will help you, grow in your person, in your business, in your family life? We really want to hear about it. Laurie-Ann and I both want to know, are we making a change for you? So anyways, just a little side note, if it's working, let us know. If you like what we're doing, let us know. If you'd like to expand, let us know. If you haven't signed up for the new newsletter, please do so. Anita, why don't you do us a favor and drop the link into the comments. Make sure that you're signing up because it's great. We're giving on everything. We're breaking down this into a small 3-minute read and giving you the opportunity to know where to find. All right. We can all hear her.
Okay. I love the new newsletter. And I also just want to encourage people that, if there's a topic that you really want to hear more about, please let us know. And also, if you've got any questions about what we're discussing here today, please drop them down below because I'll make sure that I come back and answer any questions that you have about public speaking or about this perfect presentation, perfect webinar, because what we're teaching you here today, if you're in a corporate position and you find yourself you are constantly, you constantly have to speak at meetings, use this formula. This is the exact thing that you should be using, whether you are speaking on a stage at an association meeting or speaking at a meeting for your department. It's exactly the same. This is how you will get your team to put their phones down, close their laptops, lean into listening to you, and learning these 3 tips, these 3 secrets, closing it, asking them questions in your close, in your call to action, so that you're just you're a lot more, productive. One of the things that I do want to share with everybody is there are 3 types of speakers. I call them the inspirational storyteller. This is the person who climbed Mount Everest. It's the rah-rah story. It's if I can do it, you can do it also. And then there's what I call the college professor. This is the person who gives and gives and gives us so much information that your audience gets overwhelmed and then they do nothing. And this was something that we were already discussing towards the beginning of the show. And then there's the third, and this is what I want everybody to really walk away with and become the marketer speaker, where you are giving just enough information that allows your audience to actually take action, to do something different, to believe something different, to take a different action. And you want to be the marketer speaker because that's what That's what's going to build your audience. That's what's going to build your following, get people on your email list, get your department to actually move and do something different. Yeah. So I hope that you're all enjoying this. So let's see. What's your someone's asking me about my speaking fears. Let's see. My speaking fears today are different than they were probably years ago. So let me just share what the most common one is that a lot of people, like, if you haven't done a whole lot of speaking, sometimes people are afraid to have Q&A in their presentations because they're afraid what if somebody asks me a question that I can't answer? So what do? You just say, hey, you get back to them later. What do you do? How are you doing over there, Rico?
We're okay. It's funny. We tried everything to make sure this wasn't going to happen. We're getting ready to do another upgrade in the studio, but I'm going to have a nice little call with AT&T, I think, because I'm pretty sure that's where it's at. Yeah. So we'll see how this comes in. But the question that I just heard asked in terms of being afraid, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that being afraid of speaking. Mm-hmm.
So when I hear that, one of the ways that I would, approach this is these are the fears, are the areas that we need to be able to overcome that area. And when we talk about the secrets, right? Here is where we are rebuilding their belief system. And that's what we're doing in that. So someone that has a fear, someone that is afraid of being asked a question that they don't know, well, first off, if you're speaking, you should be speaking on something you do know.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
That you don't know. So from a sales perspective, I'm going to say, don't ever try to sell what you don't know.
Exactly.
Right. So real quick, what I do want to do, go ahead, Laurie-Ann.
Every once in a while, you will get an audience member that will ask a question. So I think it's a valid fear, but it's also
they're always
to say, you know what? Can we talk? Can we meet up afterwards and exchange information? Because I've got you can get information to somebody, and anybody else who's in the audience who wants information on this particular topic, I will get you the numbers. I will get you the correct stats, so that I'm giving you the right information. I mean, even follow-up is still just is okay. And that's what too many times, we feel like we're going to go back to that perfect on stage. And sometimes you feel like you have to have all the answers. But if you can at least follow up with those answers, if you don't have them on the spot. But knowing what you're going to be speaking about actually eases a lot of those public speaking fears. That's what all of my clients have to say.
So now the next step here in the process, Donnie, let's go ahead and pull it up. And I am glad to be back. Thank you very much. But that is the stacking aspect. Okay, so we don't have a whole lot of time left. So what I want to be able to do is be able to share this with you. Okay, so now Laurie-Ann, give me 4 different pieces that somebody gets in being a part of your program. What is the first thing that they would get in working with you?
One, they're going to get these training videos in this program.
Okay, so now they're going to get training videos. Okay, so let's say, how much are these training videos worth? What would you value them at? These videos that you offer, these training videos, what would you offer them? The value 1, 5, 10,000?
I would say, since you're going to be making a lot of money attracting clients and new business from them, I would say that they are actually worth about $4,000.
Okay, so now your training videos are worth $4,000. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now this is the part of the stacking where we get into it. So first things first, you're going to get access to our training videos, X number of hours of this. Here's all the topics we go into, right? This is valued at $4,000. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of the details. Here's some of the things that we go through. Here's what you'll learn. Here's what people say. Here's some, here's an example of the video. Here is one of our past clients. Here's what they have to say about it. Now, when we go into that, here's where you really lay it in deep. this is when you really start to go into the trial close aspect. This is where you are constantly asking the questions that lead to yes. So I talked about a trial close earlier, and I'm going to mention it now. If I was showing you the PowerPoint, it'd be a lot easier. But what's happening is essentially I'm doing this, right? I'm asking you from the beginning to the end, do you want to learn how to have a better presentation? Do you want to learn how to generate more leads? Do you want to learn how to grow your business? Yes. Do you want more money? Do you want this? And what I'm doing is right now, if you're watching this and you're liking it, and if you're paying attention, you're probably nodding your head.
Yep.
So what's happening is that we're working through the process, and I'm going back and I'm going, okay, does that make sense? Yes. Okay, do you like that? Yes. Is that something you want? Yes. See, these are little micro yeses, and I'm going to add them in as many times as I can from the start of the program all the way through to the end. Why am I doing that, Laurie-Ann? Why am I getting you to give me 10, 20, 30, 40 micro yeses before we get end pitch?
We're getting buy-in. It's like, yes, I want more. I want more. We're constantly getting the audience or the listener to agree with, yes, I'm ready. Like, what else is there? What else is there? That's what these yeses are. And when we want to include the audience in our presentation. So we're connecting with them also and building that desire.
Absolutely. That's exactly it. The other aspect as well that we're doing, okay, is if you haven't perfected your presentation, your webinar, this is where you're understanding, like, maybe this is not what they wanted, right? If I say something and you're getting, no, I don't want that. You're like, okay, I'm gonna go back, right? Then this isn't the right the right topic. I need to perfect this, okay? But you're exactly right, Laurie-Ann. We're getting them to say yes. So now we're gonna go into what's the next thing, Laurie-Ann. What's the second value that they get by getting into your program?
They have these live Q&A calls with me so that they have my eyes on their presentation as they are crafting it and building it.
And so are these the weekly ones?
Yes, these are the weekly ones.
Okay, and so your time is valuable. You're a professional. You're a well-known speaking professional, a author. Your time has value. What is that weekly time worth? What is an hour with Laurie-Ann value at?
Well, an hour with me.
And now remember,
right.
These are 8 weeks, right? It's 8 weeks of this, so it's 8 hours.
Right.
So what are we looking at? $8,000, 10, 15, 20?
Right. Over the course of 8 weeks. Now I'm trying to
she's doing her speaker math. You're doing your speaker math. She's
I was just doing my monthly math. Right. So I would say it's going to be 6,000.
Okay. So, all right. That's valued at $6,000. Okay. So spending that time with Laurie-Ann, that's a value of $6,000. Okay. So what happens is as I get ready to go into the second stack, right? If you pull it back up, the second value, I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm going to do it again. So remember now, here's the part that gets a little weird and people can feel real cheesy. Get over it. Okay. Yeah. Get over it. I know Practice. It may feel that way, but this is what you're doing. And you'll realize if you don't do this, you'll see a big difference in people wanting or not wanting what you have to offer. You have to remind people their attention span is very short. Okay. So we're going to go back to it. So again, what you're going to get working with Laurie-Ann, number one, you're going to get access to all of her training videos that are going to train you in A, B, and C, valued at $4,000. You're going to get weekly Q&A calls with Laurie-Ann, valued at $6,000 through the course of the 8 weeks. Then we go into a little bit of the detail. Here are the things people are saying about that call. Here's where the value is. Listen to this particular customer talk about how valuable that was for them and how it turned their business around, right? And then we're going to go now into the next value. What's value number 3?
I have master classes on specifically where I brought in guest experts who spoke on storytelling and another one on humor.
So you have master classes with experts, and that is valued at
$2,000.
Okay, $2,000. You guys, I hope you see where I'm going. If you can visualize, if you write this down like I am, okay, right here, you can't see it. Too much light, too much studio light, and I think I just screwed. I got it. Did I get it? Nope.
Yep.
Did I get it?
You're good.
Okay. No, we're good.
It looks good on my end.
Yeah, I screwed up the
focus.
The focus. Yeah. All right. So now the master class. So again, what do we get? You get training videos on subjects A, B, and C, and the details to that, and that's worth $4,000. You get to sit down in these weekly Q&As for an hour where you get to bring all these right to Laurie-Ann, who's done 20 years of this. This is what the value is. That's valued at $6,000. Then you also get access to master classes brought by these experts, and here's some of the past speakers, and here's who will come in and teach you on this course and on this course, and these are worth $2,000 a piece, $2,000 total.
I'm just saying 2,000 total for this.
Okay, so $2,000. All right. Do we have one more?
Yes, we also have templates. I have templates that I share with the people who are inside this program.
Okay, and the templates are valued at what? Now, remember, with most of us, you guys have to remember, it's so funny because people think it's simple, but it's usually 10, 15, 20 years of what not to do that helps us figure out the little tiny thing of what to do.
Right.
But so we can never truly charge what it cost us to learn that lesson because you'd never pay for it, but we did.
Right. So
we paid for it.
I'm saying these templates and resources that are inside this program are worth $1,000.
Awesome. So $1,000 in templates. Okay. Do we have anything else, or will that be the last piece of the stack?
Actually, there's a bonus.
Okay. So now
there's a bonus.
So now before I go into the bonus, hold on.
Okay.
Right? So remember, we get the training videos. You see where I'm going?
Yep.
So remember, we get the training videos. They're going to train you on A, B, and C. And here's a little bit of the details that's worth $4,000. We're going to get access to the hourly, right? The Q&A, the hour Q&A directly with Laurie-Ann, who's going to help you with your presentation. You're not going to be alone. You get in this, you work with her, with the group. We're going to perfect your process. That's worth $6,000. You get access to the master classes where we bring in master coaches, okay, that train you in this piece of public speaking and this piece of public speaking, and here's who they are and why they matter, and that's worth $2,000. Also, you're going to get templates. That's worth $1,000. How many times have I continued to say this over and over? But what's happening at the bottom of this, as I'm sharing this, it's adding up, right? So it was a 4, then it was 6, and then it was 10, then it's 12. As of this point, we're up to $13,000. So I have a $13,000 valuation. Now tell me the bonus.
The bonus is once you know how you have crafted your presentation, well, wouldn't it be great to know how to get booked and paid to speak?
Ooh.
You get this masterclass where I teach you, along with a workbook, step by step, how to find those 7,500 speaking opportunities every single day, how you find audiences filled with your ideal clients, how you find the right person to reach out to so that you can email them and let them and open the conversation about booking you, about how you can bring value to their association, to their meeting, to their conferences.
Now, how valuable is that? What would you say is the average first close for your clients? What would be the first, is it 1,000? Is it 2,000? What's the first big close that they get?
Oh, gee, Rigo, that's a hard question to answer.
I know.
I've had people within 7 days book a $3,500 speaking opportunity, get booked to speak for, and get paid $3,500. I've had other clients who didn't necessarily get paid to speak on the front end, but they got hired to write books.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I actually had a client, and she's a home organizer, and because of her speaking, somebody reached out to her and said, we want to pay you to write a book for this industry. And, because her and I were working together, I was like, well, they're going to pay you to write the book. You and I are going to make this an Amazon bestseller. And we did.
That is awesome. All right. Yeah. So there is it's almost impossible to put an evaluation to it. But here's the deal. You're not going to go into it, right? This is priceless. So all of this now, and then here we go. We run through it again. Yes. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. That's a valuation of $13,000. Yeah. What does the program cost?
The program only costs $12,000. Sorry.
And then that's where we stop, right? I did that on purpose to mess with you. So what happens now is we come back in, okay? And now we want to, before we drop it, we're going to come in with what we call if-all statements, okay? And these are if, right? If I can, right? If I can help you earn, right, in 8 weeks, if I can help you earn $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in your first year, if I can help you earn $10,000 a month, if I can help you earn $2,500 a month in coaching, right? If I can do that, would you, right? Would you pay for the videos, right? Would the weeklies be valuable? I want to do this at least 3 times. If what I'm doing is now I'm justifying this. See, what we want to do is I want to justify if I didn't give you a discount at all, I'm breaking this down. I'm not telling you, and you kind of know like, okay, here comes the pitch. But no, here's the thing. If my program that is going to cost this much, if I could help you generate 10 leads, each lead is $1,000, and my program costs $1,500. If I can, just in that program alone, if I can help you generate 10 leads, would it be worth it?
Right.
Mm-hmm. If I can, right? If I can do this, will this be good? Okay, so now what happens? Why are we doing this? If you say yes, then when I give you a 50, 60, 80, 90% discount,
it becomes a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. Then you're lying to yourself if you say no, because you didn't really want it. But the biggest thing is that for us, I'm making sure and clarifying right now, I believe it's worth it at that much. Why? Because I've sold it that much. Right. I believe that I can sell this, because I do, at this number, but I don't want to do that right now. I'm going to give it to you at a better price. Why? Because I want to. Right? Because I want to. It's my decision. I didn't just make this price up. All the prices are made up because we have sold these before. So just so you guys know, if you haven't got into the coaching side of things yet, you have to figure these prices out, and you figure a lot of them out, and then you're like, oh wow, somebody bought it at that, and you kind of keep going until they stop buying, and you're like, all right, now I know my price.
And that's exactly what we do in the speaking world too.
Yep, that's it, right? So now what happens? So what's the program, Laurie-Ann? What are we looking at?
Is this where I share this?
Yeah, you're actually going to say it. I'm not going to interrupt you.
False statement.
No, no. Go ahead. So the program costs?
The program only costs $1,200.
So that's it.
That's it.
And what do we get? We're going to go back.
You
got it? And then we go back.
8 weeks of training videos. You get Q&A calls with me.
Worth $6,000, right? Master classes. Worth $2,000.
You get these master classes on storytelling and humor. That's valued at $2,000. You get these templates to make it so much easier for you.
Worth $1,000.
Worth
right?
$1,000. And then you get the bonus of once you have a presentation that's already crafted, let's get you booked in front of audiences.
That's priceless.
That
could be worth, who knows? It's priceless, right? Mm-hmm. Clients from $3,500 in 7 days to co-authoring a book.
Co-authoring a book to closing $10,000 clients at the end of their presentation.
So now what happens here is, remember, in this process, and if you're going to be building this into a webinar or into anything else, there's a little more to it, but that's what we want you to remember. So you stay to the end, okay? So here's what we want to do. Anita, you want to drop a link? She's in here filming TikTok stuff. Thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you a link. I'm going to put in my Calendly, and I'm going to give you a link to get a 15-minute call with me. And here's what we're going to do. If this is what you want to do and you want to understand how to do it, I'm going to give you a private invite. Why? It has to be private because this is my paid course. I'm going to give you a private invite to come check it out. And I'm going to give you access to the training. I'm going to give you access to the content. right? And we'll get your information. So if this is something you want to get access to, we're going to give you that. I told you I would, and we'll put it into where we're going to upload this information, and then you're going to get access to it, right? And so now, for you as the individual, I'm making sure that I'm coming true on my promise. I'm going to give you access to the training, the PowerPoint that didn't load, the PDF, and I'll do this training all over again, and I'll show you how to do it in a webinar. Okay, we good? Laurie-Ann, we want to know more. I want to be able to get your offer, right? So we'll get your stuff. Laurie-Ann stuff's going to be in here. So when we're done, we're going to drop the information in, and then we want you to be a part of it. If you want. If you don't, and you like just watching us, cool. No big deal. All right? So that was a lot. Trying to get it done in 60 minutes, especially with one of those wonderful little internet issues. Oh, well, you know what? That's live. That's what we do. We're happy to do this. We love being here. Laurie-Ann,
the real life of speaking.
That's it. Now, we're over time.
Yeah.
I am glad that we did this. What about you, Laurie-Ann?
Oh, me too. Me too. So I hope everybody really benefited from seeing, because again, Rigo and I did not talk before this. He literally, as he's asking me questions, we were building the presentation so that we could show you how we do this.
All right. So real quick announcement, Terry Rice next Thursday.
Yes.
Okay. He is one of LinkedIn's top influencers, male influencers, entrepreneurs, solopreneur training. I'm really pumped about having him on. We're going to make the announcement after the show officially, but you hear it first. It's next week, right? 2 weeks. I'm sorry.
In 2 weeks.
I can't keep up.
Cade's
like, no, that's in 2 weeks.
Jeremy Berg.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Jeremy's next week. Oh, that's going to be perfect. You're going to love his story. Talk to the guy for 30, 45 minutes. Totally hit it off. Love him. Okay.
Great.
We're talking about leadership within the entrepreneurial position. For those of you who are I'm so tired of all the entrepreneurs, I want to know how to be a better leader for a guy that's not trying to start his own business. You're going to love it. Okay. So I hope you're here. I hope you enjoy the show. Donnie, let's start getting us rolled out of here. Laurie-Ann, thank you so much. Sorry, guys, that we went over, but you know what? We had a lot to say today.
We did.
That's just the way it goes. Anyways, you guys, we're so happy that you're here. Thank you so much for being part of the program, our Contagious Leadership Podcast. Laurie-Ann, any final words before we go? We're already late. What's the matter?
Hey, I'm just having fun, and I hope everybody had fun with us today, too.
I do as well. Listen, thank you guys again for being here. We'll be here next Thursday, 1 p.m. Central Time. We love you. God bless. Let us know what your thoughts are, and we'll talk to you later. Donnie, roll us out of here.